Bruno Fernandes! It's Fred! It's Martial! The Cavani! Just waiting on the back post, surely he'll be found! And yes! Scores first! Premier League goal at Old Trafford!
The mute button has been on the whole time. Is it still on? Oh, gosh. I'm a 007. Papi Gary the comedian. Oh, boy. Oh, that is too funny. That is too funny. I've done it again. Ah, that R.I.P. Huh? Oh boy. Ah man. First of all, I was wishing you guys a happy Monday. I was so upbeat. And all this time I was on mute. My lord. My lord, my lord. That is hilarious. Anyway, the main thing I was just talking about was I don't know how to recover. The funny part is I was like, yeah, 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 I should do a sound check. And then the reason why I didn't do a sound check is because I saw a rumor that, you know what, we are actually rumored with Fofana, a potential hijack of Fofana, and that just like took over, and I was just like, oh yeah, yeah, forget that, forget the sound check, you know. Anyway, here we are. I don't want to make this longer than 30 minutes. Anyway, um, I'm gonna speed through the things that I said. All right. Earlier, I said, obviously the main story of today is that Jadon Sancho potentially to PSG could happen, and I was like, okay, I'm with it, I'm with it. But then also on the other hand, I was also a little bit like, what does this mean about Rashford? Because Rashford, from how we know Rashford, he's always been somebody that PSG admired. He's somebody that yes, Sashif, it's the Fofana from Monaco, Yusuf Fofana, I believe. And yeah, and I talked about him, and the rumored fee is 25 million to 30 million pounds, and he's a hybrid 6'8", and that just threw me off. And anyway, so yeah, so that was the thing right before going on that I was like, um talking about. But back to the what we were trying to say. I was saying that Marcus Rashford, for me, it feels weird that Jadon Sancho is now the player that is rumored to be wanted by PSG, when all these two or three previous transfer windows, previous transfer windows, PSG have always admired Rashford. They always looked at him as the heir, the successor to Mbappe, which made a lot of sense because, Rashford has quite the pull. He has quite the PR team, you know, and we know that PSG is more or less like, the only person that we could say right now is going to bring a little bit of shine to Ligue 1 is uh, Olympic Marseille's new signing, former Manchester United player, you know, but he does not have as much pull as Marcus Rashford in terms of visibility, in terms of PR, presence in the media. So I was like, this is almost telling me that PSG do not rate Marcus Rashford at all. And matter of fact, this when I traced this thought even more, early on, and I was like, hold on. Let's actually kind of take a quick little look at what actually Luis Enrique has been trying to do at PSG, because what we know is last season. Big shout out to Shay, by the way. Thank you for saying saying big up to you, man. Thank you. You're a legend. You're a legend. Thank you for mentioning that I was on mute and I did not see it. But yes, I'm happy it's not Wesley Fofana either. But so I was saying that, Luis Enrique has been trying to evolve the current identity of PSG. And that's the thing for me that was like, looking at how he has been using Colomwani and Barcola, and also uh, um, last year when how he was using Mbappe and Usman Dembele, like he's been trying to evolve that traditional 4-4-3 4-3-3 shape, and he's been having a lot of his fullbacks invert and having his wingers hug the touchline, but looking at really creating combination triangles between, the eight that is attacking the half space, the winger that's on the touchline, and whichever defensive midfielder is closer to them, whether it's the left sided defensive midfielder or the right sided defensive midfielder. So this has been like trying to, using these triangle based rotations to try and create combination plays that do not make PSG just counter attack FC. Because, yeah, you like to still have pacey wingers so that if you're in a situation of a corner kick, you're able to, like, way if it's the opposition that's having the corner kick, you're able to counter quickly and get a goal. But then if it's a proper build up play, you are actually having to really have a good strategy that is patient, that is involving, the ball circulating from one side of the pitch to the other side of the pitch, and this is obviously apparent also with teams that are like in the PSG in the Champions League, pardon me. I remember last season when we did the watch along for PSG versus Dortmund, we saw a little bit of this actually. And the thread that I was just about to bring up, by the way, here's the thing: it illustrates what I'm talking about really, really, really perfectly about how um, Luis Enrique had been trying to do these, like, you know, triangulated like movements that are really, really, really more about retaining possession of the ball and making sure that you are not wasteful with with the ball anytime you have it. Like this thread right here, big up to uh, it is provided by EBL 2017. It's Twitter account that I follow and respect, and they actually look at this really quickly. They had like a nice little like this is what you know Luis Enrique was trying to do at PSG last season, and now you can see that he is trying to go further with that. That is why the rumors of Jadon Sancho feel like they actually hold some water. And if you look at how like he would try and make sure that the positioning of the winger and also the whether it's the fullback or it's the midfielder that's in between, that's closest to that side of the pitch, to whichever's flank on the pitch, like you could see that there is a little bit of like, oh, when we're actually trying to be patient with our build up, and that is really, really good. It enables like this combination play that really, really, really fits into I guess what you could characterize as what modern football is trying to go towards. Look at how like these triangles that are being formed, and if you know anything about triangles, me and triangles go like this. I love triangles, and that's why I was just like, this is a different sort of outlook that Luis Enrique is trying to have, at an identity that he's trying to have at PSG. So a player like Jadon Sancho would be perfect for this, making the ball circulate, using like the inverted wingers to make those overloads on the flanks. And this is like something that I was like, when you look at it, it could really be a win-win situation for Enrique. This is the time. Jadon Sancho is the player that Luis Enrique needs. You know, so I really, really, really feel like we should do business, as much business as possible with these guys. Is this a Sancho Ugarte swap, says R10? Yo. Let's actually say that is would be a really good business move, by the way. If we actually manage to pull off the swap deal. Big up to Bath Time in the house. Is wonderful. I'm having my lunch break. What's going on, puppy? Big up to you, Bath Time. I'm chilling, man. Yeah, just waking up to Sancho rumors, and I'm like really trying to figure out, do these rumors make sense? Would they really, really, really actually be a good deal for PSG and also for Jadon Sancho? Would you let him go? Bath Time, R10? That's what I'm curious about, because there's some people that are saying, oh, well, Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho, they've made up. They have actually put that situation behind them. And Ten Hag publicly publicly said some words on Sancho just recently, and I'm about to share this with you, by the way. He said, we draw a line and move on. We spoke well. Everyone can make a mistake. This club needs good players, and one thing is certain, Jaden is a very good player. I hope it will click and continue to our success. Now, this kind of backing, let's be honest, this kind of backing is not does not sound so convincing, especially if he said, I hope it will click. Look at these words. Look at these words. I hope it'll click and contribute to our success. You know, the part where he says we draw a line and move on. Okay, that is good. That seems like somebody that is actually trying to look forward, trying to say that thing is in the past. But let's be honest. I'm one of the people that when we were playing Rosenborg and we were playing Rangers, I was so curious to see, is Jadon Sancho going to be in the false nine again? And fortunately, he wasn't. They put him on the wing, and that was a good thing. That was like, okay, all right, that's something different. But we all know also deep down who the wing belongs to. Unfortunately, whether we like it or not, it's Marcus Rashford's position. Garnacho is whatever Marcus gets subbed off. If Garnacho is on the bench, he's going straight into that left wing position. That's the Ten Hag preference. Through many games, he's done that. And if what does that mean now? For a player like Jadon Sancho, it means that he's fourth, could even be fifth choice winger if another winger comes in. So at the end of the day, even though it feels like they've sort of like, what's the word? They've sort of buried this in the past, drew the line, and moved on. We haven't really moved on. For me, I haven't moved on. I still remember him kissing the badge of Dortmund. I still remember him doing the standoff, playing PlayStation. Those things, they're easy to forget when there's a game next day, early morning training, and the guys on PlayStation for like till the wee hours of the night. So that's the thing that makes me feel like we, at any given cost, we should try and get rid of Jadon Sancho. You know, and just I see what Arten's saying. In my opinion, Sancho is not here to stay. I hope that opinion is true. I hope that opinion is the same opinion that Ten Hag and the rest of like Ineos have, because we need to figure out how to ship this guy ASAP. Pronto. Bath Time says, I'd let Sancho go. Yes, he's third choice left wing and probably third choice false. Yeah, wait. So third. So there's Ahmad. I think Ahmad is now ahead of Sancho because we heard the back. Let's just wait, you guys. Last time, yesterday, we read Ten Hag's backing of Ahmad. He said, "This is Ahmad's year." That's a big proclamation. Like it felt like a New Year's resolution. It felt like this is Ahmad's year, is the words from Ten Hag saying, I have promised this kid I'm going to give him the minutes because he deserves them. And I was like, that's a really strong backing. And when you compare just how he spoke in the media about Jadon Sancho saying, I hope it'll click. He's a very good player. It feels like Ahmad is even in front of Jadon Sancho in the pecking order. So it's Anthony, Ahmad, Garnacho, just looking at the right wing, right? And then Sancho is fourth, bath time, not even third. False nine, maybe that's where he jumps the line a little bit. You could even play Ahmad at false nine. Ten Hag has done that before. So it's a little bit like what are we really doing here? Are we just trying to just like pretend like things are a little bit, um, uh, we're building with Jadon Sancho, or we're actually just trying to raise his value up and not use the thing where negotiators come in and say, oh, he's got had in a fallout with the manager. We're not trying to use that as an excuse. So I feel like there's a really, really, really strong sense of like what Arteta was saying, that Sancho is here for a good time and not a long time. He's here for a preseason time and not a season time. If the choice were between keeping Sancho or keeping Anthony, who would you pick? That's a good question to put in the poll before I give my opinion on it. Here we go. Right, really, really good question because I was trying to do if you had to pick between Sancho and Anthony for this season, who would you take? Really excellent question, Bath Time. I'm really curious. Even if it's like 5 people, I know there's a gorilla stream. I just like just went on and then I started the first 5 minutes of mute. But I'm curious what you would say in this community. Which player are you taking? Because I know my answer. But before I say it, I want to hear what you are leaning, which player you're leaning towards. Bath Time also went to say Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, right wing on the left wing. It's Rashford first, Garnacho second, Sancho third. On the right wing, it's Ahmad, Anthony, Sancho. I think this is the current pecking order. Right hand side makes sense. But you know what Bath Time, like some of our best football. Remember in the Champions League when we were playing Rashford on the right, there was also like about maybe like a run of about 4 or 5 games when Rashford was put on the right and if he started like actually having some output. And I wonder if Ten Hag is gonna repeat that experiment again. I wonder one thing with Ruud van Nistelrooy there, Rene Hart, like are they gonna implement wingers who rotate mid game? We used to see that a long time ago, even matter of fact, during the days of Fergie, we used to see like that a little bit more of like that brings that unpredictability. That brings that even Oli did that too, actually, when you think about it. So that's the thing that I'm curious about. It's like what is if Rashford's rightful position is the left, sure, we know he's number one, Garnacho is his deputy. Who is potentially gonna go there? We know sometimes um Ten Hag has gotten to, using Ahmad as well in the middle as a false nine as well. So there is a little bit of fluidity in terms of how he can use like those players. And Xerxes, for me, he's just a central striker. He can play false nine and maybe also just um, um, out and out nine, center forward. You can never really put him on the left per se. So it begs the question, what is Ten Hag's plan with Jadon Sancho? I really, really feel like we should be moving him on. If I had to pick between Jadon Sancho and Anthony, I'm going to go ahead and answer it. I just need two more people we before I elaborate my opinion. But the question, by the way, if you're just joining in, shout out to Starlink who just joined the chat as well, saying that's crazy. What is crazy? Starlink, bombastic side eye as well. The question that we're discussing is if you had to pick between Sancho and Anthony for this season, who would you take? And also, we know that looking at Bath Time's pecking order, for me, I feel like Sancho, we put him on the left, right? We put Ahmad on the right in our preseason game. And I think we had Ethan Wheatley in the middle. What does that mean? knowing eriktenhag, because like on this preseason tour, the first game of the season, he might also just switch up, throw all that outside and just start again and say, no, we're starting with Rashford on the left. I don't care if Sancho's been playing on the left this whole preseason in America, you know. And then what would that mean? Like, will Sancho go on the media again? Will he go on Twitter and put in another like statement? So the bad blood for me is not completely buried, even though Ten Hag claims that. But here we go. Here we go. Let's see what Arten says. Left side, Rashford is predicated on Luke Shaw, the 007 agent. That's interesting. And I mean, looking at it now, Luke Shaw, I think he's going to come in and he'll be ready. He'll be ready to go in because he used the Euros as his like training camp, right? He'll be ready to go in, and Rashford is going to be straight back to, you know, 2 years ago. Bath Time says I'll take Sancho every day of the week over Anthony. I've never seen someone as poor at striking the ball as Anthony. All right, all right, all right. Here is what I'm gonna say. Bath Time, unpopular opinion for me. If it was like keep Sancho or keep Anthony, which player are you taking? I have to go with Jadon Sancho. And not for the reasons that you mentioned, but here's why my thinking. I really curious about the potential chemistry between Jadon Sancho and Xerxes. Somebody who's so good at link up play, Xerxes. Somebody who is so good at holding the ball, Joshua Xerxes, and he can dribble. And he's also somebody who can be a one touch player as well, like pass and move into space. And if you have that and Jadon Sancho, you have a deadly combination. It's not just Bruno who's coming in with the creativity. That is why, for me, that combination is more exciting, right? But if you have Anthony in there, and you have Xerxes and you have Bruno, as part of the triangle. I feel like it's less dangerous because of how predictable Anthony is. I feel like it is less poignant for the opposition because, like, Anthony is one of those guys that will just cut in. And as you mentioned, that left foot, Larry, is not him. We have given him 2 seasons, and he's given us what? 007 performances. So for me, like my answer is I'm leaning towards keeping Jadon Sancho over Anthony Dos Santos. Unpopular opinion. Some people may prefer Anthony, but also just looking at how we are playing versus Rangers. I know it was Rangers, but Ahmad is something that I thought Anthony would be and more. He's so calm. He's got really good IQ. He knows when to keep it simple. He knows when to take on players. The very, very simple basics like that, guys easily overlook. And we end up becoming like, this team that just like, like I felt like I was trolling him at one point last season when every single game we would ask a question and the takers like, well, Anthony beat a fullback today. And it was an actual question that we asked. And sometimes a lot of times the answer was no. Like we saw that like he would like have fights with Louis Dunk. He would end up like, being so agitated. Defensively he'll be good, but offensively just straight up. The only thing that's unpredictable about Anthony is which is which row the ball's going to end up in when he shoots. That is true. That is true. Unfortunately, Anthony is just straight up like damaged goods. We need to get rid of him. We need to get rid of him. But does that mean though, bath time at the detriment of a potential transfer with PSG? If PSG are knocking for Sancho, do we just say no because like the winger that we want to prioritize moving out is Anthony? Big question there. Big question. Anyway, another thing that I want to also quickly hold on. Let's see really quickly what Fabrizio has said. The cool thing about like um I just saw Fabrizio talking about. Okay, all right. This segues well into the other player that I want to talk about. But one of the questions that I wanted to ask today is like, why is Ligt not home yet? Why is he not a red yet? And that's because, according to CF Bayern, by the way, Bayern have refused a 35 mil offer from Manchester United for Matthias Ligt and are asking for 50 million euros plus bonuses. Oh shit! Oh shit! Negotiations continue. This is per United plug. And of course, we lowball them. It's good. We have to start lowballing any player. You can't just go ahead and just agree for any fee. But at the same time, man, Bayern need to cut us some slack, man. Cut us some slack. I say instead of the 50 mil that they're asking, we should do like a combination 40 plus 10 or 45 or 43 plus 10. So it's like it ends up to 53 million euros, and the 10 being add ons, obviously, that are predicated on appearances. If he can stay fit, if we can continue to, if he can help us like reach like a set X number of clean sheets, and also if we reach Champions League football, we can, add on to those add ons, also considering that like Champions League football will give us a little bit of revenue, you know but Arten says, walk away, Ineos, do not get ripped off. Is Bayern going to rinse us with this 50 million plus bonus asking price? That's the question. Is it too much to pay for a patient like Ligt? Because we all know he's not going to be fit for all season. He's not robust. Ten Hag's one of his last interview last season, he said this. He said we want players not who are just not fit, but they need to be robust enough to sustain long-term availability moments in a 38 game season. So I feel like for me, 43 max is where the highest I'd go. 43 plus 10. So that's literally 53 million euros in total. And since we're talking, since they're quoting this in euros, but yeah, maybe also they have a right to, for, because like we came to them on some, hey, 35. That's kind of really really low balling, by the way. um Talking about low balling, oh man, good times right now. Vacation times are on. If you're curious what Bruno Fernandez is doing and you haven't seen him on what's the word, on the preseason tour yet, it's because Bruno is out here having a good time with Rafael Varane. Men's are out there enjoying life, pedal boarding and stuff. Look at that. Life is good, huh? Life must be must be fun when you know Ineos are building. But anyway, that for me is the Delict update that I wanted to share really quickly and say, wow, I didn't know we were lowballing them like that. But that's quite the lowball from Ineos. So hopefully they can go back and be like, all right, new and improved offer. We was just want to say 43 maximum 44. Just so it's a complete 54. That's what I would do anyway. Delict, I think, is a deal that's almost 90%. Because yeah, no, yeah, with the player, it's been agreed. It's just the clubs just getting to see each other eye to eye. Both times as Delict, I think, is a deal that is 90% certain to happen. Ten Hag even spoke about him publicly, which managers never do. Yes, he even said Delict was an Ineos scouting and not him, to try and make sure that he dispels those rumors that, oh, Ten Hag is always trying to buy former Ajax players, which I thought was like, I was like, oh, okay. We have not agreed with the club. That is a little surprising that you're out here speaking publicly about people that are not on your payroll yet, fam. Because usually the managers always say that, right? That's not our player. I won't speak about him until he's our player. But I it's just brinkmanship and negotiations now because they need tar. That is you know that is a really good point right there. About time, he also probably one of the only players in world football that doesn't need to learn Erik mental system in preseason. He can just slot in when match fit. Very, very good point by the time. Honestly, that is a really, really good point. Like, the Ajax um, um, time that he spent with Ten Hag, we always forget that it's not only that, it's also the fact that Martinez has been in Ajax, Onana has been in, there's a lot more that we're buying. It's not just the Ligt, we're also buying the hours that they've spent together, and that is part of the add-on package. Like, that, but part of the positive externality of getting a player like De Ligt as opposed to, like, I don't know, Jared Braithwaite or something, Arten says maybe we can add the other Harry to the offer for Delict. Arten, I'm sorry to break your heart, but I saw this video of Harry Maguire coming into a training session, and there was all these young Manchester United players in the academy, right? And he was bigging up everybody, like, yo, like literally, I'm like, what in the world is this guy trying to do? You know, um, he's a leader, he's a community man, and he is really trying to make sure that he's friends with everybody again. And I think Harry Maguire is set his mind on, like, I want to fight for my place. This is the rightful place for me. So hey, man, Harry, big up to you, man. Do keep doing your thing, Harry. And I feel like he's not gonna go anywhere unless like a huge offer comes for him. Look, remember last season we were close to shipping him off to West Ham, and we just could never agree on the valuation. And Man United value him too high sometimes. Bath Time says, yeah, so there's less pressure to get him in for the tour, and Bayern need Tar in sooner. I think it's just we are in a strong position to drive the price down. It'll get done. That's a really, really solid point, Bath Time. I really like that insight. Yeah, we don't really need him to just. He can go. Matter of fact, the picture that I just showed a few minutes ago, we might even see Delict in there if we get the here we go. He wants to go paddleboarding and not go to America. And we would be fine. Aren't you a little bit worried though? Because obviously by law these players are on a 3 week break. Looking at Garnacho, looking at Bruno. I think he's been in the break for a little longer. But there is also Martinez, Lissandro Martinez. Part of our core is on a preseason break, is on a vacation while we've started preseason. And it means like by maybe September, that's when they'll really be ready to slot in. And we would have played by the time we get to the first or second week of September, we would have already played Fulham, Brighton. Oh, that's not good looking good. Liverpool is September 1st. I really feel like Lissandro Martinez, even though he played like a really fantastic Copa America, never conceded, by the way, while anytime he started for Argentina. He is really gonna be ready for us when we about to play maybe Liverpool. He'll come in second half, but he'll really start versus Southampton, and that's just the nature of like how fitness goes and match sharpness goes. So for me, I'm a little bit like, this is not ideal. This is not the nice way to start the season, and I'm not happy about it. But anyway. Um, Our chances. I'm surprised De Gea is not there with the boys paddle. It is true. It is true. De Gea is the one that's missing in that picture. Um, guys, by the way, if you're just tuning in, I see we have just a few more people that have just come in. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. We've been talking about Jadon Sancho potential move to PSG, because apparently PSG were close or are close to agreeing terms with Jadon Sancho. The question that has been posed. Oh, and thank you. We have had 5 people vote. I appreciate all of you. The question was, if you had to pick between Jadon Sancho and Anthony for this season, who would you take? And 60% went with Jadon Sancho, 40% went with left foot Larry. And I think the people have spoken. We are saying bye to Anthony by any means we can, right? I think that's a great decision from the community here. If only this community was the one that was running things at Ineos. So anyway, at least with this decision. I don't know about other decisions, but at least for this decision, I think that would be a good way to go about it. Now, we also gave an update by the way on Ligt that, like, was still sort of like a little bit in that sort of negotiation phase. There's a difference in valuation. We lowballed them by 35 by saying we wanted to pay 35 mil, but Bayern really want 50. You know, so the question is, will we pay 50 plus 10? All right. Another player that has been the topic of discussion today is a guy that plays for Colombia. We were doing the what you might call it, the Copa America watch alongs, and we saw him. His name is Richard Rios from Colombia. Now, Richard Rios, he is a central midfielder that can be deployed as a DM and also on the right. And I say can be deployed, I mean that he has played, mostly his position is central midfield. And when usually a player's primary position is central midfield, it means they are most likely on that box to box role. They're more or less like, probably a very good eight. So he's a 6'8", also a hybrid, but it looks like he's more of an eight than a six, even though statistically he's played 39 matches as a defensive midfielder and 25 matches as a central midfielder and 2 matches on the right midfielder. He plays right now in Brazil. His current club is Palmeiras. And Richard Rios, let me quickly just show you what I'm looking at, by the way, so that we can look at it together, because I'm not going to walk in here and pretend I know who Richard Rios is and the type of player that he is, because I don't have time to be watching the Brazilian league like that. So here we go. That's the pedal boys. Where is Delict? Where is De Gea? And this is Richard Rios's profile. Let's look at it together. I nearly thought when you glanced at him, he has a little. I was like, hold on, is that Varane? I was like, no, that's not Varane. That's a South American brother who has played in Serie A 7 matches. He's got a goal, not bad. Uh, Libertadores, 5 matches, a goal, okay. Serie A in 2023 as well. He's played 37 matches. So, Serie A is not like necessarily it's not like Ligue 1. It's a notch or two higher than Ligue 1. So, like, you can probably say he has some valuable experience here. He's somebody that comes with some valuable experience. But let's look at where he went and how much he went for in terms of like his transfer history. So he was at Guarani, and that's where he was before he joined Palmeiras, and then he was at Flamengo before Guarani, and before that he was at Mazatlan FC. So he's been really moving like a free transfer loan, really doesn't move the needle in terms of like club football. If you end up going from Italy and then going back to Brazil, I don't know if it's a good look on your dossier. Honestly. This is not good. I'm not really impressed by the Richard Rios on first glance. I don't know if anybody here is, and if anybody would want to keep him, but that's just like a quick little look at him. Let's look at his injury history as well, as we like to always check how a player's complete dossier looks. Is he somebody that gets injured a lot? He's got these okay stats in Serie A, but Richard Rios injury history is as follows. Oh, no entries. I literally was like, why do they not have it listed? No entries. Okay. That's the only impressive thing about him. There is his injury file. It's non-existent. That is not bad. That is not bad. But we can't just buy a player just based on like he's never been injured, really. Big up to halftime Vegetas, by the way, in the house. Man, Lutata in the house. Saying bath time, your paragraph comments have passed 1,000 words. Leave bath time alone, please. Bath time, talking about the big comments. Bath time said, I'm more worried about Martinez and Ganacho getting some kind of ban like Cavani did for those. Oh, we are going to talk about that later on today. I've been postponing this conversation mainly because I wanted to have the first part of it with Joe. We had talked about that, but Joe is taking long, and I just have like so many thoughts on this that I think it deserves a separate stream by the time. But part of the questions that I have is like, what is the role of Manchester United players in this saga? We know Enzo Fernandez is the main culprit. It was his Instagram live that showed us that they were singing racist songs in that bus after the Copa America celebrations, right? But are Man United players accountable? Are they culpable? If so, how much punishment should they get? And I came to this perspective because of Sophia. Sophia actually is the one that brought me to think about this. Sophia from Sophia Football's Talk. She said our players also are not guilt free. They shouldn't walk scot free. It shouldn't just be Enzo used as a scapegoat. And yeah, that's what I want to say about that. It's a very big topic that I want to make sure that I give enough context before we really get into it, you know. So big up to you, Bath Time, for bringing it up, and it's a little precursor of what we're going to talk about later on. Yeah, Vegeta, I was trying to get on. I was getting trying to get on the KG show, and it ended the moment like I got on. But the main thing is like I threw up, not because I not because I'm like pregnant or anything, but because of KG's take on Jaden Sancho. He wants to keep Sancho. Even if PSG are like, yo, because he has buried that he's somebody that forgives and forgets, but I forgive and never forget. That is why, big up to now, by the way. Now, you just missed it. We talked about Ligt, the update on Ligt. We said Ligt, he's somebody that actually, the Bayern Munich, the latest is that Bayern Munich have rejected our offer of 35 million. And they literally want us to come back with a better offer. And we talked about like, for me personally, I'm cool with a 43 plus 10, so 53 mil in total, 10 mil add-ons, and the add-ons can include things like, appearances, Champions League football, clean sheets, all those things. Because like appearances is really contingent on Delict staying fit and also in form for Ten Hag to pick him. So yeah, that's my feeling on that one. That's the update, Nile, on that one. Big up to you, and thank you for reminding people. If you don't smash the like button, you are complete 007 agent. 9 million pounds. We could gamble, says King. Big up to King in the house. 9 million pounds for who? For who? For who? Please explain your opinion again, King. Lieutenant says, Papi, stop discriminating football. Oh, what are you talking about? You know I'm anti-discrimination, Lieutenant. Um, Ma- Mazatlan are in Mexico. I might have, but I would have meant Brazilian, says bath time. Yeah, but Palmeiras is in Brazil, right? Yeah, so he's played Serie A games. We're talking about, this is Richard Rios, in case anybody is confused who we're talking about. He's played Serie A games, he's played in Mexico, and also he's playing currently in Palmeiras in Brazil. So and he's somebody that I feel like is not the only thing that was impressive, as you saw, was his injury history. He has no injuries whatsoever. Man moving like a Bruno Fernandez of some type. Big up to Ivan in the house. Happy Monday, Ivan. Happy Monday. Good day, y'all. Hey. Big up to the Normality channel with Riley. Yo, long time. Is this the only time I can catch you on, Riley Taylor? I appreciate you being here. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. And guys, Um, Riley Taylor is one of my favorite people. Um, Something also that's Riley Taylor is breaking right now is that the women's Super League fixtures have just been released, and should we take a quick glance at them? Women's Super League fixtures. Quick reaction for 2024-2025. I'm curious who were playing first. West Ham United. Okay. Not bad. That's our first one on September 22nd. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. And then maybe we should watch a women's game one of these this season. We should definitely include some women's watch along, women's football watch along. What else? What else? Let's see. Any other big game to look forward to in terms of Man United women, Everton women? We're playing them on the end of September. Okay, all right, all right. And then Chelsea. Oh, that's the one. That's the one because we know how Chelsea women are a very strong team, and it'll be great to troll Chelsea then as well, to beat them with the men and the women's team. Anyway, thank you for that reminder, Riley Taylor. Papi, do you know you messed up our bargaining power in the Ligt case? Answer is eriktenhag. How did I? You say you do you know you messed up our bargaining power in the Delict case? How did I do that, Lutata? Explain to me. Normally Taylor says yes, and the games will be on YouTube, so this will be great. This will be great. Thank you, Normality Channel. Yeah. So quickly, guys, I had asked a question in the chat, and if you have not given your voice on this, it's very simple. If you had to pick between Sancho and Anthony for this season, who would you take? 60%. It's still 60%. We had 5 people voted, and now we're at 10 people, and it's still 60% say Jadon Sancho. We're taking 40% want to get rid of Anthony. All right. I think this will not change even if we get to 20 people voting. So I just want to end the poll right there and say, all right, it makes sense that people here want to keep Jadon Sancho and want to get rid of left foot Larry, which I'm not against at all. Bath Time says Serie A is what the Brazilian league is also called. He's only played in North and South. Really? Hold on. Is that transfer market saying? You sure? So he's only played in Brazil and Mexico. So that's that injury record. That injury record is nothing to go about, huh? Because he hasn't been tested enough. I thought if you can make it through the Serie A without an injury, then you are actually a robust player. But you know what, Bath Time, thank you for bringing that up to light, and I appreciate you so much for that, man. Seriously, seriously. Normality Channel says as a Chelsea fan, we would take Anthony. Please, please let me drive Anthony to Stamford Bridge. Matter of fact, Bath Time lives closer. Bath Time, please take Anthony to Stamford Bridge. They are having issues over there. Uh, they need new players. Todd Bowley hasn't really signed a lot this season. It's actually kind of surprising. Normality Channel, let me know what you who you think should be your next signing, because you guys have been quiet. The last I heard was the Brazilian wonder kid. Speaking of Serie A, it was the Brazilian wonder kid that you signed, and then other than that, it's just been quiet. Did Todd Bowley run out of uh, his checkbook run out or what? Vegeta says, not gonna lie, probably not gonna catch a single women's Super League game. I don't wanna lie. Hey man, fair to you, man. I think you're missing out because there is some really, really good games in the women's league. So and when we play Chelsea on October 6th, I think I'm gonna make sure that I'm there for that. We're gonna pencil that in and make sure we show up. Yale says the Sancho to PSG is an odd one. Why do you say that, Yale? Why is it an odd one for you? I really, really feel like it makes a lot of sense. I can't wait for the opening weekend of 24-25 Women's Super League. Bring it on! Says no matter. I can't also wait for the Premier League. I can't wait for us to just really play competitively because the preseason is good. It's like, all right, cool, but I need some Premier League action. I'm feeding for it now. Yesterday I was just looking at the the highlights versus Rangers, and I was like, what? Why am I doing this to myself? But then I realized it's because I missed the Premier League. And also, I was like, it's nice to see a player like Mason Mount doing something. So, um, hopefully he stays. Hopefully he stays fit. Hopefully he stays fit. Kenny Fan TV says Cole Palmer and Anthony play a swap deal. Who says yes? Normality channel. What do you say? So she trying to cause trouble. Oh, we know Cole Palmer is easily like one of the top performers of last season, contenders for player of the season, for signing of the season, right? And if you get Anthony, would you say no? 007 Anthony. Didn't we lose a lot of our ladies though due to foolishness at our club? We did. Yeah, we did. Vegeta says, I like that deal. That swap deal, I like it. Arteta says, we'll even have Mason escort him to the bridge. Oh, the Maliki channel has responded, says, Kenny fan, piss off, leave Cole Palmer. He's one of our own, leave him alone. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a quality player, man. Quality signing, and I'm waiting on Ineos. If they can know where Cole Palmer lives, we can go in and just snatch him. Get Christopher Vivale to sell him the Ineos project and tell him, like, listen, Mr. Palmer, this is what you should do. Yeah, Jaden Sancho, guys, that's the main event for today. PSG wanting Jaden Sancho. For me, as I mentioned it's one of those things that I'm like, if we can make it happen, let's go, and we can get another replacement for Jaden Sancho. Even it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be a bad idea to get a player like right now. Fabrizio tweeted 1 minute ago. Lars Ricken on the transfer of Karim, not Benzema, but Karim Adeyemi. We never opened the door for us. That's not an issue at all. Every day there's a name in the press who supposedly wants to leave and how much we will earn. Oh, so he's dispelling. I thought I saw the part says we opened the door. I never saw the never. Oh, he says we never opened the door for us. We never opened the door for us. That's not an issue at all. I guess he was asked if Adeyemi wants to leave, and the Dortmund director says, you know what? There's always a player that's being talked about who wants to leave, and how much we will earn from that is just normal. But I don't think it's actually gonna happen. So, yeah, you know what? Adeyemi, I was not that impressed with him in the Champions League. I saw the potential, and I know that he's a young player who's got a lot to develop. But for me, Sancho was brighter than Adeyemi, and that's a little cause for concern for me. Anyway, talking about speculation, Kenny Fan TV says Karim Adeyemi is a good shout, puppy. Kenny Fan TV would not mind him. I'll just wait for another. Here we go. Or we're back to speculation FC. Vegeta, this is exactly where we are. I think the Jadon Sancho conversation it could be real in terms of like I don't know if you missed this part. We showed a little bit of a thread of like that, was just a little snippet of what Luis Enrique is trying to build in terms of like his evolution of using the 3-2-5 formation at PSG, and it's not he's trying to get away from making PSG a pace merchant club and get wingers that can help circulate the ball and help keep possession, and especially for those Champions League games. So I really, really, really feel that the Jadon Sancho transfer could make sense for PSG. It could make sense for Sancho and also for eriktenhag, because we know it is just going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Jadon Sancho is going to be excluded. The media is going to come. So, do you think there's any more tension with Jadon Sancho, even though we know it's a thing of the past? And Erik is going to have to go back again to Statement FC and another explanation FC. And I don't want our press conferences to be dominated by that. I don't want the narrative at Man United to be dominated by, oh, Jadon Sancho really and Ten Hag didn't really put that grudge aside. At the end of the day, we want a fresh slate, and a really, really clean, fresh slate can come with a new player coming in. So until we can even dream about Kenny Fan TV, dream about the likes of like Adeyemi coming, we have to get rid of Sancho. And yeah, if Sancho goes, Anthony isn't going on loan, says Brendan. I know. But that's why, like, Bath Time helped us ask this really, really, really important question. Which one would you let go? And it was 60% Sancho to stay. If you had to let go between Anthony and Sancho, which one are you letting go? 60% of the community has spoken saying we would want Sancho to stay. I don't know if it's at the detriment of a sale with PSG or not, but it is one of those things that's like, I know why you're saying this, Brandon. You get rid of Sancho, Anthony goes up the pecking order, and he knows he's set. He knows he's set. Yeah. Anyway, an injection as we're wrapping up the show, an injection from the academy will make a bigger difference. Um, these kids have the drive to succeed. That's not a good shout. We need our academy wingers to come up and step up. We know that 2022 belonged to Ganacho, 23 was Maino, 2024 should be Collier, and maybe potentially like also another winger should come up and step up to the fold, because at the end of the day, the talent should be there at Man United. We are the La Masia of England. Hey, La Masia is producing, My friend who supports Barcelona yesterday was all in my ear talking about like, oh, we're gonna be cooking. De Zerbi did not know how to use Ansu Fati. We got Lamine Yamal. We got Pedri Gavi. I was just like, bro, give me a break. Give me a break. We all know that, like, Real Madrid have improved and La Liga already belongs to Real Madrid. But I gave him this. The El Clasicos are going to be fun to watch again. I don't think I've ever been this excited about El Clasico as the ones for this coming year, To see Lamine Yamal versus Vinicius Jr., to see Kylian Mbappe versus old man Lewandowski, to see just how Jude Bellingham, is he gonna step up again and have like that really stellar season that he had last season, or was he just a one season wonder in La Liga? We'll see. All those questions will be answered this year, and I don't want to like dwell on that one, but you know what I mean. That's what I must say about it. Anyway, I want redemption for both, says Brendan. Redemption for both Anthony and Sancho. I want it for both as well, but like it's very tough for us to see. The only way this redemption arc could actually happen, Brendan, is if we bench Marcus Rashford and we actually continue the preseason project of putting Jadon Sancho on the left, even in that we have started in the preseason, and we continue that in the season. And to be fair, didn't Ten Hag actually? I think the game that Jadon Sancho played last season was Spurs on the left, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, we never saw Jadon Sancho. He was omitted versus Arsenal, and yeah, and it all just went sour from there. To be honest, let Ineos continue cooking. I am calm for now. I'll take. let's stay calm. Yes, yes, yes. Let's let the stew marinate. Let the stew simmer. I'm with you, Kenny Fan TV, on that. Vegeta says, "I'll take that if it means Anthony goes in whatever capacity." Um, Lou Ben says I should tell Sashif to respect feminism. I hope he does. I hope he Sashif. I think Sashif respects feminism. What makes you feel like Sashif is anti-feminist? He is. He just said that he doesn't like watching women's football, and I don't think that's anti-feminism. That's more of a preference. And hey, I was like, more power to you. You're missing out. You are missing out. Believe it or not, you're missing out. The same way, like when I'm chilling with my nieces or like my sisters in Botswana. Like I remember this when I was like still like just getting into like football, as a youngin, and they loved it when the cameraman is like zoomed out, like I'm waiting for a player to have a muscle pull. And I was just like, you guys are objectifying. But I figured, there's something for somebody every time. So let's leave the transfer news because it's slow as hell, says Normality Channel. Kenny Fan TV says, just been busy with work, Vegeta. Tomorrow I'll mostly do a chill stream plus Man United transfer news. Come on. Make sure you let us know, Sashif. We will be there. Vegeta asking any more streams today. We are doing the Enzo Fernandez also Manchester United players that were involved in the racist song. We're talking about that today. I've been postponing this conversation, and if anybody that knows me on this channel, that like the topic of racism hits close to home. It gets on my skin. If you get what I mean, it's on my skin. Yeah, it's an important topic that I would not just let go like this. I talk about the racism in La Liga, so like for sure, we have to address it. And I will hope the Normality Channel will be there because Enzo was involved in this, and also the other Chelsea players that unfollowed Enzo, and how all that is going to be like. We will be watching to see if Enzo is going to pass the ball to any of the black players, or if the black players for Fana is going to pass the ball to Enzo. That's really the one that I'm curious about. Riley Taylor. Exclusive. As for the women's transfer window, it has been nothing short but amazingness. Lucy Bronze joining Chelsea is one of the biggest transfers to date. Okay. Why is that a big Lucy Bronze joining Chelsea is one of the biggest transfers to date? Yep, not the price, but the quality of the player. Okay, all right. You see, Sashiv, Vegeta, everybody that do not pay attention to women's football, we learned something new today. Lucy Bronze being one of the biggest transfer coups in that has happened to date. So we will be looking with a bombastic side eye when we play on October 6th when Man United women face Chelsea women, what Lucy Bronze has to bring. And we have receipts. Riley Taylor, we will come back to this and say, this is what Riley Taylor was talking about. Or it'll be like, oh, okay, this was what Riley Taylor was talking about. Okay. We'll see what it's going to be. We'll see what it's going to be. Damn, the clip lives in my head rent free. Eriktenhag has declared 2024 as Ahmad's year. Yep, it was almost like a New Year's resolution, Lou, man. He said, this is my Ahmad's year. And you know how everybody at the beginning of the year says, this is my year? Yeah, that one is gonna be one of those 10 minutes of football about Enzo. No, Sashif, this one it's longer than 10 minutes. I tried yesterday. I actually tried. I did a short 10 minutes, and I was just like, I'm not covering everything that I want to say about this racism thing, because I was speaking like I was in like times two speed, and because there's the reason why I want to give the context. I did some research about Argentina just in general, and little tidbit. The last time there was a black player playing for Argentina was like 1920s, fam. As old as the 1920s. They had a black player that was a substitute goalkeeper. But hasn't it come? Like, I've only been watching Copa America since early 90s, right? And I'm like, how come they are the only team that does not have a black player on that team? Why is that? And I've always like just been like, maybe that's just not good enough there. And I never really did the deep research until just a few days ago, and I was like, oh wow, we gotta talk about this. This is a cause for concern. This should be a topic, exactly, Mark. This should be a real topic. Let's not shoehorn it into this conversation right now. I only watch United women's highlights. All right, R10. Hey man, at least you're watching the highlights. You're better than Kenny Fan TV. Vegeta says, "Damn, I'm not sure Super Sports will have it in South Africa, but I'll need to see the Normality channel." Yeah, Normality channel said it's gonna be free on YouTube, so we don't need to go anywhere far, fam. We are good. Puppy's ignoring racism, curing it. Lou, man, please, let's not. You wanted me to get into this topic. I'm not ready. 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 Not right now. It's a whole stream that I've like prepared, and I do not want to spend more time on it. But to answer this question in short, the way you deal with racism is not by ignoring it. That is why, for me, I feel like something big has to be done about this Enzo Fernandez thing and all the players that were on the bus. And also, yeah, yeah, period. I'll stop there because we're actually getting into that stream before we get into that stream, if you know what I mean. Mark says United signed 3 players and Chelsea wanted the Danish striker. We signed Xerxes, um, Euro. Who's the third one? Are you talking about this season, Mark? Or are you talking about the women's team? I'm confused. I'm confused. What a great investment Enzo has. Compost. Which one? Yeah, that one. I'm glad we missed that bullet. Overpaid by 50 M's to get absolutely nothing on the pitch, and now a likely lengthy ban for racism. Please let it happen. She is not United Women signing. The young Brighton striker was got you, got you. Why did Kenny Fan TV suggest swapping Cole Palmer for Anthony? Because they thought it was the perfect way to go from Palmer to Anthony Ball. Uh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Kenny Fan TV can answer that one. He's the one that brought this, and I was like, bro, let's make it happen. Yes, the Malady channel has got a sub. Big up to you, Vegeta, for subbing to him. Drop the link, says Mark. Oh, you see, I'm trying to wrap up, bro. Okay, all right. Let's just drop the link for just a few, like 3 minutes tops, and then we're wrapping up the show. I've been trying to wrap up, and like Lutata's been derailing me with the racism conversation. The Malady channel has been coming in with the women's Super League exclusive. So big up to you though. That one that derail that distraction I really appreciate. So thank you for that, Riley Taylor, because it is something I've been meaning to do. Last season, did we do a women's watch along last season? Oh my goodness, we didn't. We didn't. And I was like, not happy with myself at the end of the season. Bro, men's talking about that, but no one still making a fuss about England media. Let's save that one, Mark. Let's save that one for the stream later. Please, please. Um, Speaking about Riley Taylor is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what the Normality channel with Riley Taylor says. Hello. Can you hear me? Riley Taylor? This is our first time speaking. Can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you. Just putting a shirt on. I'll be back with you very shortly.
Okay. All right. All right. Yes, please put your shirt on. I don't want to talk to you without your shirt on. Let's hear from Mr. Mark. What's good, Mark?
Chilling, broski. What's good? What's good? Yo,
Chilling,
United
bro.
Women's are doing some crazy things. Yeah, I know a lot of people think that Sir Jim and the guys they forgot United Women's, but they made 3 signings already this summer. Peter Jansen comes in for defense from Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Tillon is a striker we got from Brighton. and we signed Melvin Millard, the French striker who was on loan last season, to a permanent 3-year deal. So, and there are more signings to come. So there's lots of things happening for the United Women's team. And like I was telling people last season, guys,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We will be covering the women's game and the youths this season. So it's gonna have some interesting things coming on. Guys, stay tuned. We're expanding. It's gonna be a lot this season.
The expansion is expanding, and guess what? Riley Taylor is here with us. Yo, big up, Riley Taylor.
Yo, good afternoon, everyone.
It's nice to see your face. I've only seen you comment a few times, but nice.
I have wanted to finally come on here. So, yep, I have got a new platform for the Women's Super League and the Women's Championship watch along. We're
Yeah,
starting on September the 7th to coincide the start of the Women's Championship season
yeah.
opener.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So,
And I promise I will be impartial and I will have neutral say on the games.
yeah. Okay. All right. All right. You're a
Big
Chelsea
up.
supporter, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's when you said that you're gonna be impartial. I'm looking forward to seeing that impartiality.
That it is going to be impartial with games that are going to be on YouTube because it's very interesting to see it. But I think the right idea was to move the WSL games onto the new platform.
Yeah.
That's because people get worried concerns on the sign-in problems on the FA player. So I am pleased to say that they're moving to YouTube. I'm just feeling happy and confident about this.
That's
Oh, they're
fantastic.
doing the same thing like the Nations League, right? They're playing all the games on YouTube.
It depends on where you are around the world,
Yeah.
because
Okay,
there's
cool.
broadcasting markets. Here in the
Cool.
UK, it's the BBC and Sky.
Got you. Got
Okay,
you.
okay, okay,
and
okay.
and putting the well, I'm gonna talk about the Enzo thing later on today, but I just kind of wanted to ask you just where you are on like how you feeling about the prospects of this season. Are you, because you guys haven't been moving like busy like as usual, you just got that Brazilian wonder kid, and that's,
Bro, they signed like 5 or 6 players already, bro.
but usually they sign 10 per
No,
transfer
I
window.
think the last two
Okay,
seasons
okay,
was a little bit of an exception for them. Go, Riley.
okay. Can I just say about Enzo Maresca? He's got
Yeah,
Leicester back to the Premier League first time of asking, and I think because of his experience of winning trophies and winning with a team that has confidence,
yeah,
I feel like we could finish top 10, but not on the top four because have a look at the position the recent seasons. We've been flagging a bit on the defence and the attack. So I think with those summer signings, we could be the powerhouse of the Premier League and the Women's Super League as well. Confidently in both areas, no matter who we are, we're one club. We must do it together as one family.
Big up, here.
that's a really, I respect that take so much because it's so sensible, so level-headed. Riley, we have a
Yeah,
Chelsea.
yes, a different episode to Man United, but eriktenhag has managed to win a trophy with Manchester United because of their success in the FA Cup final. Yes, he might have got us out of the race for Europa League, but
Yeah,
I think keeping your manager Erik Ten Hag is the right decision because then you could be the powerhouse of the Premier League. And
yeah,
as for Mark Skinner, close, not close enough over the years,
yeah,
getting closer. I
yeah,
think it's one of the things I get to say. Manchester United, in both WSL and in the Premier League, are title contenders.
yeah.
Chelsea are the same as well in both areas. If we play it both right, no matter who we are, no matter what we support, we are one big family, one big football family together.
Exactly,
We
exactly.
will be there
It wa-
for everyone across the world.
facts. I gotta ask you this. Like now that Emma Hayes is gone, I
Yes, I'm sad them Hayes is gone. Sonia Bompasta, wins trophies,
who's your new women's
PTSD.
coach? Who's your new?
Sonia Bompasta used to
Yeah,
be a manager at
okay,
PSG.
okay,
She
okay.
won the Champions League as a player and as a manager.
All right, not bad, not bad, not bad. Good luck. Good luck. I feel like it's gonna be Mark Skinner's year, but hopefully we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Trust me, they
When
haven't
we
seen the
play.
best of
Oh,
Hinata.
by the way,
Yeah.
Relativity season starts 21st, 22nd September.
Sweet. We will be there. We will be there, Riley Taylor. Big up yourself for calling in. I appreciate you. I hope this is not the last time, because
I
like,
will be there making my most. I'm going to be making most appearances on this channel. Watch out, people, because I am coming for you.
hey,
Big up, Riley.
big up Riley, legend Riley. Riley also played the Power Predictor game with us, and then became a 007 agent and didn't play for like a couple of weeks, and that's why like Riley did not end up becoming. I think like was in a relegation zone, for a while. But we'll be playing the game again, fresh at the beginning of this season. Hopefully, you'll be able to stay on and not fall off. Man, like Mark, what else? What else do you want to say really quickly? As
Oh, hold on, Riley is saying something, but
By the way, I put the link of the new channel on
yeah,
the private chat. So if you wanna put it on your social media channels, you're more
sure.
than welcome to do that. It's the
All right,
base of our new watch lons of the Women's Super League.
sweet mate. I'm just sharing it right now with the rest of the chat. So
Yes, and if you want to do it on across socials later, you're more than welcome to do that.
big up, bro.
fantastic, Riley. Lovely to see you. Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much. I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest. Enjoy this week, people. Godspeed. Don't forget tomorrow. Normality channel. During our coverage of 100. Starts tomorrow 2:45 for the women's team. See you tomorrow. See you later, guys. Thank you very much for having me on.
Fantastic. Amazing debut call right there.
Big up to Riley. Yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's gonna be a big season this season. I was
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
KG's channel this morning, bro. These guys can't some of the outers still can't help but bring the conversation to the manager. I'm telling everyone, listen, we seen we're building the squad. It's gonna have a little bit of a period of chemistry building the season as well. Just support the team. I think we're gonna see decent performances. We're not gonna start the season with the full team. Some guys will be back late from their vacations, like the Garnachos, the Mainus, those guys who played in finals.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting start to our season, guys. And, Papi, I don't know if I'll be around for you when you're doing that show later on, but I think it's going to be interesting. And you definitely need to cover it. But I feel like we need to express the point that I was making earlier about, the media and stuff like that, because all those things tie in. And just prospectively speaking, as an outsider, someone who's not from Europe, I'm saying, like, if we're an outsider looking at the situation, and just like probably the Argentinians are looking at it, it's like, well, these things are happening there. You talk about it for 1 or 2 days, or for one day, and then it disappears, but
Yeah.
you're making a huge fuss about a situation happening now, and it's like, it's kind of one of those things where I keep saying you have to keep the same energy. We need to keep it all the way around, because this is an issue that's not going away.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It's just
It looks like
2024. It's
in
2024, bro. Like,
well, not in 1994 or
I mean,
1984.
we have the internet now. You know what I mean? Like, for
Yeah.
some of us who grew up with before the internet, before camera phones and all these things,
Yeah.
yo, that in those days you could understand those things. The
Yeah.
only medium really was the newspapers and the televised news, and
Yeah.
maybe radio news. But now you got so many different avenues that you could learn from. You really need to be better. People just need to be better, bro.
True that. True that. Big
Big
yourself
up to
up, Mark.
everyone, bro.
By the way, they were screaming at Mark when he said try Anthony at left back. You want to try Anthony at left back?
Bro, listen, I'm just saying, if people are mad at him playing at right wing, we need a left-footed, left-sided player who can defend well, right? And if we're gonna consider
So,
putting Frimpong as a right back, right,
yeah.
then Anthony is equivalent level of defending ability for my part playing as a left back, because Frimpong.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, man.
What kind of take is that? Nah, I understand maybe for like a few minutes, not a whole game, not starting 11. He'll become the target. Mark does not know we had a minus goal difference last season. Nah, my bro. No. Right, Mr. I don't know about that. We can't keep experimenting with our lives. Seriously. Big yourself up, Mark. I've been trying to wrap up the stream, by the way, but thank you for sharing. We're going to talk about this conversation that he was mentioning. Guys, we cannot let it just like fade away because there's an overload of news and information. So, guys, make sure you turn on the notification for that. I think it'll be later on around like 4:30 p.m. my time, which is what 9:30 UK. So anyway, we'll be here, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and do not try Anthony at left back. We out of here. Peace.
Football Power Hour.